Today's recipe calls for cucumbers. I'm going to show you how to make a refreshing, a crunchy, a slightly spicy, smashed cucumber salad. It's really simple to slap together. So with that said, let's get started. The first thing we need to do to start making the salad is prep our veg. Give your cucumbers a thorough wash with some cold water. Pat them dry with a towel so we can move on to the next step. Cut both ends off all of the cucumbers. We'll be using 2 pounds or 918 grams of Persian cucumbers, also known as mini cucumbers. You can find these cukes at your local Asian market. It's best to use this type for the salad because they tend to hold less water than the English cucumbers do. This will help ensure the dressing won't become too watered down. They are super extra crunchy in texture. The skins are also thinner and they have a great mild flavor profile. If you can't find these, you can still use the English version. They are basically interchangeable. They'll take a little different preparation to make them for the salad. I'll show you how to prep the English version a little later in the video. Now that you have the green logs squared off, it's time to lay the hammer down on these things. You can use your favorite smashing tool for this job. Take your knife, use the flat side of the blade to smash the cukes. Give it a few good whacks until the cucumber starts to split into 4 long skinny sticks. Once that has occurred, cut the sticks into small to medium sections or into any size that is manageable to fit into your face hole. To give the salad an extra bougie look, you can cut them like I did on the bias. Toss the cut goods into a large holding device. If you're not feeling dangerous, you can skip using your knife and also use a rolling pin to get your smash on. If you go this route, I recommend covering the veggies with some plastic wrap. Reason being is the wooden rolling pin will soak up the water from the cucumber, which isn't all that great for the rolling pin. When smashing, you want to use a medium to light strength when doing so. If you hulk out, you'll have stuff everywhere. To really speed up the process, you can also use a pan that has a large flat bottom. You'll be able to smash more surface area at one time. Or if you want to live out your childhood dreams of becoming a pro wrestler, you can jump from the top rope and make it rain elbows on those cucumbers. Then realize you're too fat and old to be doing that young buck stuff of consistently climbing on the countertop like that. Whatever method you decide to use, repeat the same process until all the goods have been smashed. Once everything is in the bowl, we need to add 1 teaspoon plus half a teaspoon of granulated sugar. Following the cavity creator, add 1 teaspoon plus half a teaspoon of coarse ground kosher salt. Give everything a quick mix up. Adding these 2 ingredients to the green goods will help pull out even more moisture and liquid from the cucumbers. This will help ensure the flavor won't become watered down in the end. It'll also help the cucumbers stay and become crunchy or crunchier in texture. This will also help prevent them from becoming soggy over time if you can't eat all the salad at once. Transfer everything over to a colander or a strainer. This will help maximize the drainage of the liquid. Place the colander in the bowl so it can catch all the juices, or you don't have to and you can clean up a huge mess. It's your call, my friend. Following that, we need to Now that we smashed our cucumbers, let's throw them in the fridge so we can move on to the next thing. Once the holding apparatus is in the friginator, we'll set a timer to let them do their thing for at least 30 to 45 minutes or up to an hour. This time doesn't need to be exact. If you go over, it'll totally be fine. If you can't find the Persian ones, I'll show you how to prep the English cucumbers now. Cut off both ends again. This time we'll peel part of the cucumber. You'll want to peel it in a alternating design. This will give the salad a nice aesthetic look. Since it's so long, to make it easier to work with, cut it in half, then cut that half in half once more. Now that you've reached the center of the cucumber, grab a spoon to scrape out as much of the core and seeds as possible from the entire vegetable. The core/seeds hold a lot of water. Discarding this part will help ensure the salad will be better in texture and flavor. This is the only thing we need to do differently to prep for the salad. Repeat the same exact steps as we did before: smashing, cutting, seasoning, and draining. Now that the veg is in the fridge, we need to prep a few more items. Grab your
yourself 4 to 5 green onion stalks, square off the end of the green portion, then start to cut 1/4-inch little green rings. It's best practice to use a sharp knife so you can achieve a clean cut. It'll also prevent the green onion from bruising. At this time, you can rough chop a handful of cilantro for the salad as well. I skipped it this go round. Next, we'll prep our garnish. Acquire a small saute pan and some white sesame seeds. Take everything over to a thing that cooks things. Toss the 1 1/2 tablespoons of seeds into the pan. You want to lightly toast them, bring out more flavor, and to also add more flavor to them. You'll toast them over medium-low heat. This process should take 3 to 4 minutes, or toast them until they become golden brown in color and have a strong fragrance. Throughout this step, occasionally give them a quick stir to get an even toast on them. Once they've been roasted and toasted, pull them off the heat source. Put them on a tray or a plate to make them into one even layer to allow them to completely cool down. Next, we need to start making the dressing. Grab yourself a small bowl and 3 large garlic cloves, or 4 to 5 small to medium cloves. I find it's easiest to peel them by cutting both ends off. I believe the skins kind of fall off of them when you do this. We need to make the garlic as small as possible. You can achieve this a few different ways. The way I did it was by using a microplane to make it into almost a garlic paste. You can also use a garlic press or mince the garlic as small as possible with a knife. Whatever you decide to do, add it to the small bowl. If using the microplane, run your fingy down the back of it to knock off anything that is stuck. The next thing we need to add to the bowl is 1 teaspoon plus 1/4 teaspoon of light soy sauce. Following that, add 1 teaspoon of a good quality sesame oil. This will bring a ton of flavor to the salad. Like any good salad dressing, we need to add vinegar to contrast the richness and the fat of the oil. Add in 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. If you don't have this specific type, you can also use white distilled vinegar instead. The vinegar will slightly pickle the cucumbers, which will help lock in the crunchy texture. Next, add 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar. To bring the heat to the dressing, add 1 teaspoon of chili oil. If you don't know how to make this, don't worry. I have a video to show you how to make it. Go check that video out after you finish watching this one, of course. You can avoid all the extra work and substitute the chili oil with some chili flakes if you wish. To make the flakes even more spicy, lightly toast them to bring out more of the natural oils that they hold. Whisk your face off to bring everything into one saucy mess. Give it a taste test, adjust the seasoning as needed with a few small pinches of coarse ground kosher salt. This dressing is a good starting point, but you can easily play around with it to make it more enjoyable for your liking.
Alright, now that we've finished prepping everything else, let's finish making this salad.
Now that the salad is out of the fridge, you can see how much water/liquid has come out of the cucumbers. Discard the liquid, or I guess you could drink it. I'm sure there's some kind of vitamins in it, but I'm not a doctor, so who really knows? After the cucumber tears have been disposed of, rinse and dry the bowl. Add the cukes back to the holding device so we can finish this thing up. To the bowl of crunchy green stuff, add the other green stuff, also known as green onions. Following that, make it rain with the dressing. Scrape the bowl clean to ensure you get all that tasty goodness. Use a stirring tool to ensure everything is evenly coated. Give it a taste test and adjust the seasoning as needed with salt. Fun fact, I ate this salad a few days after making it. Guess what? It was still super crunchy, thanks to the vinegar and the extra water we pulled out of the cucumbers. So don't skip those steps. Time to plate this refreshing salad up. Grab your favorite eating saucer or bowl. When plating, you want to stack the salad nice and high so it'll look visually appealing. Once you have the leaning tower of cucumbers, take some of the dressing from the bottom of the bowl and drizzle it over the top of the plated salad. Garnish the top with a little more chili oil with a pop of flavor and color. To finish it off, add a few sprinkles of the toasted sesame seeds. Eat this stuff on its own, or eat it as a side dish next to some protein, or take it on a picnic adventure. Whatever you decide to do, just enjoy.
Alright, now that our smashed cucumber salad is done, let's give it the old taste-a-roo. So looking at it, came out really aesthetically pleasing, and when we built it, we stacked it nice and tall, so it looks really appealing. And it's super green in the color department, which makes sense because cucumbers are green, and so are green onions, hence the name green onions. But anyways, we get a nice pop of color, of contrast from our toasted sesame seeds, and that really bright red from our chili oil. Overall, it just looks like it's gonna be good. So yeah, let's try it. And yeah, these chopsticks are made for cooking, not so much eating, but I'm going rogue and gonna use them anyways to eat. So let's see if I can look dumb and make a huge mess. But yeah. Our salad came out super tasty. There's so many different flavors going on at one time, but it all really meshes and pairs well together. The first thing that really hits your palate though is the freshness from our cucumbers and that pop of green onion in the background. They play really well together. Then the next flavor that you get is that sesame oil. It's super distinct in flavor and is really delicious and coats your mouth really well and brings some fat to the table. Then our rice vinegar helps cut through that richness of the sesame oil and brings that pop of acid to really brighten things up. Then we get some spiciness from our chili oil. The soy sauce brings that umami, salty flavor to the table. And of course, we have that delicious garlic flavor as well. Texture-wise, this thing is just straight up really crunchy. And yeah, this thing is just good. This recipe is kind of crazy because it's really easy to execute and the end product is just straight up delicious. And this salad would be perfect in the summertime on a hot day because it'd be super refreshing. And you can kind of get crazy with the dressing if you wish. Maybe get rid of the regular sesame seed oil and use some toasted sesame seed oil to get real bougie with it. Or maybe add some oyster sauce or fish sauce to bring a different flavor profile to the table. There's endless opportunities. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. And I have to go find some different chopsticks that I can eat with instead of having these super long ones. So I'm gonna go do that and we'll see you on the next one. Alright, now that our crushed tomatoes, let's give it the old taste-a-roo. So looking at it, it looks sounded like my voice cracked. Like I'm going through puberty. Really aesthetically pleasing, and we French, and came out really pleasing. And that pop of green onion. It's recording. This thing would be perfect in the summertime as a nice refreshing salad because it is a salad. Duh.